Good morning, YouTube. So, we are now 2 weeks out from show, and it's kind of crazy to think all of the hard work, all of the determination is about to be over in 2 weeks. I'm excited, I'm a little bit nervous, but today we're going to take you through a day of eating and kind of just been wrapping up my thoughts of the last kind of 22, 23 weeks. Meal number one, so I call it a mud pie. Cream of rice. It's kind of the strictest cream of rice currently. So it's about 40 grams of cream of rice. And trust me, it's what I look forward to in the morning. Today's kind of the last day of it being a fancier cream of rice. Protein. Got to have a scoop of protein in there. It just really helps get the protein in early in the morning. So 30 grams of that. I prefer the ISO whey, to be honest with you, because I find that ISO whey just does a little bit better for metabolism, and I just prefer it on the basis. And 100 grams of summer fruits. That's what I mean about being a little bit more fancy. I just like it in it right now, just as a kind of a sweet treat. I'm actually really fatigued right now and quite exhausted, but we move. Honestly, it's just, you just have to keep pushing. It's one of those things, you just have to keep pushing. And I put this with the mud pie with about 100 to about 90 milliliters of water. And trust me, it makes the best. Usually I use milk, but got a ban for milk right now. So next week, what is planning? So we've got 2 weeks left. So we've got about a week and a bit to lose as much weight. What I'm planning to do is have 3 days of carb depletion. So really get everything out of the muscles. And then we're going to have roughly 2 days where I'm going to have about 400 grams on the first day of carbs, and going to get some fats in that first day as well. And then on the second day, about 500 grams, 5 to 550, just to really fill it out. We're going to vlog all of that, so don't worry, you're going to see all of the kind of show day and lead up to show. Yeah, it's kind of just finishing touches. I'm quite happy with the physique right now. It's all right. I could have come in leaner. I could have definitely come in 10 times leaner, but hey ho, you can't win everything. And I think that motto of understanding what to do to understand what to do to win has been a massive motto that I just going into this, trying to enjoy the experience. That's really kept me going. It has been a couple hours. Time for lunch. Usually, this meal is kind of split into two. So I usually have kind of potatoes with salmon, but I've been getting really hungry recently and just combining them. So usually it's one salmon and about 150 grams of potatoes. But today, because it's the last time that I'm going to be making the roast potatoes, we're going to go for the 300 grams and the 2 salmon fillets. So just weighing out my 300 grams of potatoes. Baby potatoes come so in handy on prep, honestly, because you can weigh them out, and potatoes are so satiating. And recently I've just had such an obsession with baby potatoes and like roast potatoes. But from next week, it's just going to be normal potatoes, so I can split them up into the 4 meals. But yeah, honestly, next level. So trying to get that 300 grams. Cool. Usually I cut them up and make them into a nice, yeah, usually I cut them up and make them into a nice, like halves and quarters, and then boil the absolute hell out of them till they're soft. Yeah, so I was just going to talk about a little bit about prep while I kind of make these. And it's been a really long experience. I think the prep has been, what, 26, 27 weeks. And it's been a really fun experience. Like I've really enjoyed the time and I've enjoyed the journey. But we're very much kind of getting to that end stages where you kind of just want it to be over. And a couple of weeks ago, I started really falling out of love with bodybuilding, trying to obsess over the fact that I wasn't lean enough and the weight wasn't going down, and we had some issues, and I was just obsessing about it way too much. And it ended up being to the point where I just hated going to the gym. I hated doing the cardio. I hated doing the posing. I had no energy and I was so fatigued. And that mindset really kind of set me back. But I had to kind of just sit away and go, okay, this is my first proper show. We did a prep last year and we didn't quite make the weight. And I bucked out of actually entering the show. And this year I really, really wanted to kind of give it my all. But I got too caught up in the fact that it had to be perfect and the prep had to be perfect. And when you kind of get into that mindset, you end up not being where you want to be, and you can't push, I find, as hard because it's not going to be perfect. Obsessing about being perfect means that you're actually so far away from being perfect, if that makes sense. And I just took a little step back and went, I'm doing this for the experience. I'm going to enjoy it. Whatever body fat we come in at in the next 2 weeks, I'm happy with because I've done it. And that's how I kind of took the rest of the weeks to just regain that love for bodybuilding, just regain the love for just the posing and the feeling of it. And it actually came back. It really, really did come back. I really started loving the space again and the posing again. And yesterday we had a check-in with my posing coach. And he showed me a picture from the very first time that we had a posing check-in. And this was the previous prep that I kind of mentioned earlier. And I was probably around 96 kilos in that picture, and I'm now about 69. And he took some pictures on our yesterday, and the difference was crazy. So I'll show you here. I'm going to put it on screen. And the difference was actually wild. I was so proud of myself, of the journey that I've taken, the sacrifice of not eating. And we are such people that love to eat. I love to eat. I'm such a foodie. But restricting that in terms of the goal that I want to get to ended up being so needed. And it's taught me so much just getting to that point. And I don't know what body fat I'm going to kind of come in at. I'm roughly around 9%. With 2 weeks to go, a carb depletion and a refeed left. Hopefully we'll come in anywhere between 7 and 6. Hopefully. If it doesn't happen, I'm not too bothered. I've had the really amazing experience of going through this prep and being able to really push through, dig deep, see where my mental limitations are, and learn about myself. And I've learned so much about how much determination I've been able to push through. And that's the beautiful thing about bodybuilding. It sets you up for your whole life. And the amount of mottos that I've kind of come up with throughout prep, and the one that I can really think about is definitely just do it tired and do it smiling. and we're here on 800 calories, and I'm still smiling. I'm still doing my passion. I'm still enjoying it. And I regained that love for the posing, for just the whole thing. And I love it. It's a rough journey, don't get me wrong, but we really just absolutely, you have so much potential that you can really push out. Just stop wasting that time in, yeah, stop wasting time and start putting that time into increasing the doing. And I think once we kind of got that mindset down and that ability down, we just, it's just the road to success. And you have to really just grind in and get that mindset in, because the mindset is kind of everything. It's what makes or breaks an athlete. And you've got to think like a champion. Even though I'm not expecting to win this season, I need to know the experience. I need to know the feeling. You can't ride around in an F1 car and expect to win your first lap. You're not going to go and beat a heavyweight boxer without actually gaining the experience. So I need to understand what it is to undertake this journey, to understand what it takes to win in my following seasons and in my bodybuilding career, because I love this world, and I love the space that it provides. So re-dialing in has been such a beautiful thing. Next week we will have our lovely carb depletion, which is going to be fantastic. So it'll be just like steaks and some eggs and stuff like that, and some like milk and whatnot, for 3 days, and then maybe some like salads, like iceberg tart salads, just to fill things out. But yeah, this is what it looks like, and honestly, so good. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to go and absolutely devour this, and then I'll do some posing later. And for our final meal of the day, we're going to have a lovely protein smoothie. Today, there is the remaining amount of berries. I didn't really weigh them out because I know I'm not going to have them for the rest of the week. So I was just like, finish them off so they're not a temptation for next week, because I'll be wanting to put them in my cereal otherwise, into the mud pie. So that's it, and that commenced the day of eating. It's been a good day. I've kind of had a little lazy day. I need to do some posing, which I'm going to do later on, or tomorrow morning. And yeah, prep's going well. We're down on weight, down on calories, 2 weeks out. Let's smash this.